there must be a great division that now the political world, us who are known to make crazy decisions, now has to settle an issue in the scientific world. There must be something terribly wrong going on, that nobody knows what kind of guidelines should be adhered to, and that we are going to have to make that judgment on the basis of, excuse my language, national security. I hate using that word. But, I mean, see, wait a minute, just let me say something, because we are not scientists. And my God, in my almost 5 years of being on the council, I never thought I would have to make a scientific political decision. There are all kinds of things the city can do not to build that facility. I don't understand why it is being placed in our laps if the risk is so low, or there is almost zero chance of anything happening to the public, that we have to make that decision. And that makes me leery of what kind of experiment this is really all about. Because even in the nuclear experiments, they never came to the city council for us to make those decisions. And that's all I have to say.
There's a spending problem. The NIH is addicted to spending, and we see it all over, from Fauci's dog experiments to getting lobsters high. This is not how taxpayers want their money spent. We did a poll, commissioned a poll earlier this month that found a majority of Americans, Republicans, Democrats, independents alike, do not want their tax dollars being spent getting animals high, period. This is something we can all agree on.
Well, it's something that we can all agree on, and I think that, you know, you just don't have faith anymore that the government is doing things that are right, that are normal. You know, how much like this has Fauci gotten away with? How long has he been in government? 40 years? He makes more than anyone else. I mean, he gives all this money out. What does he get in return for these absurd grants?
Yeah, and listen, the fact is that the NIH has a $40 billion budget. It spends half of it it admits on animal testing, and then admits that 95% of those animal tests, like the examples you gave, don't apply to humans. So it's an incredible waste, whether you care about animals or not. It's incredible.
The last 2 years has been imprinted in the minds of the public. It's been no mistake these labs are being greenlighted. This operation was planned years ago, and it's all been tightly synchronized to follow on the heels of COVID and a shell-shocked public living in fear. Now we have an election coming up, but the real truth is, no matter who takes the office, they're all on the take. Your city has been sold out to the highest bidder, and it's not going to be pretty no matter what they tell you. These labs are nothing short of torture houses and the continued experimentation in an area of life we should have never entered into. We're all responsible for this, but these men and women who've been appointed to look after the public's best interests have failed you all, and continue to do so at the expense of innocent animals as well. We were wondering if anyone's confused about where a medical expert or politician draws his or her paycheck and bonuses. When medical studies / testing are conducted, who foots the costs, pays for the buildings that house the labs, the equipment, materials, chemistry, supplies, distribution, schools, etc.? We need to drop this political dog and pony show that pops up during every election cycle. There is no difference between red and blue, Republican or Democrat. They both serve a master that is the antithesis of all living beings. Does this sound harsh or unbelievable? There are entities, corporations, institutions that finance all of the above and more because they want a specific favorable outcome for the marketing and distribution of all they have planned. There is no room for ethics when the institution sanctioning all of this, the AMA, the NIH, forced all previous healing and curing efficacies from the public purview. All that used to be the norm, homeopathy, healing modalities, holistic cures, and herbs were completely wiped away to make room for medical patents, manufactured treatments, vaccines, synthetic approaches that would in fact tend or manage illness, but never cure or heal. This is the allopathic or current system that insurance companies, pharmaceutical corporations have adopted and spread throughout the world. The mayor is CEO of the corporation, and the council enacts policy which the mayor then carries forth. By now, most aren't really trusting this system of voting electronically, where the same structure is constantly crowing about the ease of identity theft and the selling of sensitive personal information. This is the same network in which we live, and it's gotten to this point because we've collectively allowed it. It's our mess to clean up, because we can't expect the cure to come from that which is causing the disarray and self-serving narrative. This is our city to take back and nurture to its fullest potential, and that means benefiting the entire population, not just a chosen few.